I'm going to show you guys how to use this jig for checking the frames. So on this jig, you've got these two holes right here, these slotted holes. That's the top, so that goes to the front of the frame. So what you do is you grab this, you set those towards the front of the frame.
Is it not good?
Yeah, there's supposed to be two slots right here, and they're not there. You can see them on the other side, right? But they're not here. So right off the bat, yeah, they welded this part upside down. The holes are on the bottom.
No.
Yeah, so I mean that's what it's for. Anyways, I will show you on the other side. So you line that up against the edge. And then these holes need to be inside that slot. I'm gonna pull this up. And then you'll just make sure that this is up against that edge. And then you start looking at the cross beams. So here we've got 3 cross beams. You make sure that the entire cross beam is within this space and the slot in there is within that space. Again, cross beam within this space, slot within that space, and cross beam right here. We have another gauge for checking the size of these holes. There's another video to show you how to do that. And then our last cross beam inside this space right here. And make sure that this is jutted all the way to the back. Next, you grab this guy. You got these 2 slots right here. There's one right here, one up here by my hand. And you're gonna set them like that. Now on this one, it's got this piece welded in there, so it's gonna be in your way, but as long as this fits in there, you'll be fine. Bring it over to the next area. Fits in there. Here at the top. Fits in there. Next, you're going to check flatness. This is super important. The reason why we hang this up on the wall is so that it doesn't start getting windy. So you're going to set this up here, just like that. You're going to make sure that this is flat. If you see any spot that isn't flat, you're going to fail it in the audit. So it looks like this is mostly flat. We've got a little bit right there that's not. I'm not super concerned about that. If we've got anything that's over like 1/8 of an inch, definitely something at about 1/4 of an inch, we want to flag that down. But this isn't super bad. After we do that, on this side, we're going to want to do it on the opposite side. Now, these things, I have 2 examples of frames right here. So I'm going to lay this back down. I've got 2 sets of holes right here. So these 2 sets of holes are for checking the axle mount. So we've got 2 different types of studs. This is for the meaner frame, and this is for all the other frames. To tell the difference, you can see right here in the frame, they call this the subframe assembly. So there's these 2 beams that are this little box that's welded underneath the frame. So I've got an example of a regular frame over there, and I'll show you guys how to check that right now. You're gonna get these 2 big bolts, and you drop them in these holes right here. Now, on the subframe assembly, it should drop into these other 2 holes down here, right? So there's this plate right here, so it drops into those 2 holes right there. So that's how you know that this is lined up properly. On a regular frame, let me show you over there. We got a regular frame over here. On this guy, you're going to drop it into the little hole. So you drop these into the little hole, and you'll notice this one does not have a subframe assembly. So we don't have that little box right here in the center. So what you're going to do, you're going to drop these in here, over here. This is the axle mounting bracket. So when you drop this bolt in there, you should see it right in that hole. This one, this bolt is hitting the table, but it'll drop in that hole, and you should see both sides of the bolt inside that hole. So this is for a regular frame, and that is a meaner frame. The last item you're going to want to check is this hole right here. This is where the ball coupler goes. So you'll stick a piece in here, and then you have to get a pin that goes in here. I'll show you where to grab those pins from. If you need a pin to grab, just make sure you put it back once you're done with it. You're just going to grab that pin and you stick it in here. If the pin doesn't fit through both sides, then you need to fail this, okay? Let me show you where to grab those pins. Sometimes you'll find a pin on the line and inside one of the trailer frames. I don't see any right now. So you'll just come over here, right up here at the very top. You'll just grab this pin, stick it inside that hole, make sure it goes through both sides. That's it.
Sweet.